Welcome to Blind Tiger. This is a 4 versus 4 matchup. Both teams have 3 randoms and 1 human. I'm the human on my team. My goal on Dragon Falls is always to be aggressive if I'm on the outside. Here I'm on the outside as I was hoping, so that I can show you exactly what it is that I like to do to get the most success. Now, the middle here is contested territory. Because it's contested, this gold mine and this gold mine are extremely important. If you're looking for a long battle and you'd like to win one, you need to control the resources. And so what I like to do is get right out to a fast expansion, come down there, set myself up, and if I'm able to establish that with some towers by the time the enemy discovers it, that's when I know that I'm probably going to have a pretty good game, assuming my teammates hold up their end of the bargain. Gotta make sure you keep producing peasants, keep your macro going. So what I'm going here is I'm gonna creep that first. Reason being, A, it allows me to get a little bit of experience, which is nice. It also gives me time to produce enough peasants so that when I go down here, I can set up the expansion, have the lumber that I need to get things done. And it looks like orange is maybe... Oh yeah, it looks like he's been supporting green, feeding him a little bit to help him tech. So I need to make sure that I'm getting another farm here. There we go, another farm. I'll probably make 4 farms and then just set up a good whack load of foot soldiers just so that I can hold off any sort of attack once I get down here. I need to make sure my creeping is efficient. If I'm not efficient creeping, I'm not going to get the better of this battle. It looks like, okay. Yeah, green has plenty of resources, finally getting an altar. And it's just about time for me to do a little bit of that creeping. Okay, it looks like my foot soldier got a little overzealous there. That's fine. Another foot soldier coming at you. And I'll grab that item, make sure it doesn't get picked up by some harassing blade master if there is one. And at this point, I like where things are at for me. I'm gonna head down, and now's the time for this expansion. I don't want to waste any time whatsoever. And this is it. I like to put my lumber mill out here because there's a good chance I'm going to be harvesting a lot up there. Okay, so I have my units coming in. I want to make sure that I have room to, that I'm not on cooldown for that water elemental when I need to drop the second one. And finally getting all of these foot soldiers in here. I'm going to drag these creeps out a little bit. And use all of these militia. Make sure that I drop this guy. And there goes the troll. At this point, I just want to make sure that I'm taking these out efficiently, and it's time for that. So now I want to set up some towers right away. If I delay whatsoever on the towers, then I'm probably going to lose this location, which I cannot afford at this point. I need to make sure that I secure this. See if my team's willing to help me out. It seems like this Dreadlord's going to, or Death Knight's going to come down and give me a hand. Always make sure to thank your teammates. It's good for team relations. First tower I'm putting up is going to be an arcane. And there's another guard tower. And it looks like my expansion is going to get scouted, but I can get the kill off on a few of these. So I want to put a little pressure on him. Looks like my teammate lost a unit. Okay, we got the Huntress. That's big. And it seems like we're now going to get this spot. My teammate is in on it. That's good news. So this should get me to level 3, which is awesome. And now I can say that my expansion is pretty well secured. So I want to just take it. So now we're going to go after the harass. That's what I wanted to do in the first place. Going up there and creeping this red, we're not quite equipped for it, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. And then B, I think it's better off because we won the battle over here. It's better for us to actually go down and cause them some trouble. You have to figure they're going to come down here, yep, and try and make a play for this. And so I like to take out the footman because this is what they're trying to do for his economy. I'd like to set his economy back a little bit and take out as much as we can. And again, right here, I want to make sure that we're putting some pressure on Pink's economy. And it's now big trouble for blue. All of them have been severely injured. Just leave my water elemental here just to see if they're trying to expo behind. And I barely lost anything at all, which is fantastic. And I'm just going to put a little upgrade on my buildings just in case. I have plenty of gold right now, which is amazing. I'm just going to do some selling, and because of this, I'm just going to make sure that we keep some eyes and ears on them. I'm going to go put a little more pressure down here just to see what's going on. I always like to let my team know, or at least keep them apprised of what I'm doing, and it seems like the enemy found me. So there he goes. I'm losing a lot of units here, but I'm not so concerned about that, to be honest. My main thing right now is that I just want to get my level up and get a little heal going, and now I'm going to drop into the back of his base. Put a little damage on his lures. Would have been nice to get that as well. Since he took out my one spy, I'm going to send another one underneath. I like knowing that he's only going for lures right now. That's actually very encouraging because it lets me know that I can probably drop the hammer on a few of these. I'm going to support my friend with some lumber. And so here we go. What drops? Scourge Bone Chimes, excellent item. And so I'm going to go stick with I can see that they're not expoing in the middle here. Scouting is eminently important. You need to make sure that you're keeping your scouts on the move. And I have this here just as a nice little resource. Blue's probably coming. I have this footman who's going to do a little scouting for me just to make sure he's not going straight for me. And I may actually do a little bit of this action here. Orange doesn't seem to want to expand, so I'm going to do it for him. Right there. I'd like to make sure that I have now also my Mountain King coming. Tri-hero is a great thing to have. So we're going to drain his moon walls a little bit on that little dryad. Make sure the whole team's on the same page. Take out his heir just to protect Orange's wyverns. Put a little heal on Orange's BM. Stop my Mountain King there. Make a few tanks, I think. Okay, and it seems like okay, we got enough TPs. So blue's coming for me. So I'm going to try and sneak out. So pink is angry that we spotted his sappers, but as you, the viewer, can see, I actually had some peasants going down there which spotted it. So they're pretty angry with us right now. You just got to rub that off. They think we're hacking. Reality is they didn't properly get their way in. So I'm just going to make sure I get myself some boots and a staff of teleportation on my archmage. Really supporting green right now. And I'm just going to put a little more pressure down. I have to expect that they're probably expoing again. And this is going to be great when I get these tanks rolling. Just going to upgrade my buildings again. I have the lumber, the resources. Why not do it? And you gotta have a little fun with them. See, they're not even expoing again. I'm just going to put a little pressure on yellow. If he makes me TP, no big deal. I just want to get his get this down and slow him down. Seems like he's getting some pretty heavy air, but maybe this is a good time to, put some pressure on his base. So, okay, he takes out a few of my footmen, no big deal. Just gonna bring in some more tanks. And if they happen to TP over here to defend against if they go down over here, I'll just be waiting for that, and then I'm going to send my tanks. Tanks will destroy this base and that base. And I'll go back in with green right now, why not? And I'm just still getting my upgrades. I'd like to have 6 tanks before I really commit to that attack. I'm just encouraging him to get bats. Oh, blue's very bad. And at this point we have to withdraw, but I don't really mind because yellow's coming down the wrong spot. So I'm almost 3rd upgrade. And at this point I'm going to get some copters. I'm going to add a Dragonhawk Rider. These tanks are in good position. I'm going to go back in. So here we have green again asking for more resources. I've already given him plenty. I'm not giving him anything more. I've already supported him the entire game with lumber. At some point he's got to grow up and be a man on his own. So there are my tanks going to work. And that's a decimated base. You got to give it back to the enemy whenever they're talking a lot of trash. Just my opinion. But you don't just take the trash talk, you got to give it to them. I'm just going to add some copters to my offensive. And he's going to knock down all my tanks, but big deal. He's going to lose probably both crypts. Or both Chimera Roosts. Okay, he loses one, saves the other, big deal. And here I go to work with my copters. And that's the end of the game. Like I said, it all comes down to really, if you want to look at one thing, it was that expansion. So I come out number 1. Not surprising because I had a big resource lead, as you can see, by getting that fast expansion up there. Also had lots of lumber because I had the shredder. And 5-2-2 on my heroes. Same, actually identical to Roflcopter, although he was a bit ahead on experience. Roflcopter also had a large army. I kept myself in low upkeep. And then overall, you can just see it was a great battle. Anyway, that's the strategy I like to use for that one expansion in the middle on that Dragon Falls.